Hey, what's up, my people? How you doing? My name is Dalton, and this is my channel. Now, y'all know what's up. You know what time it is. Hey, I got a story time for you that you ain't gonna freaking believe, all right? So, before I get started, you know what I like to do? I want to thank all my existing and new subscribers. I want to thank all my viewers. I want to say what's up to France and Poland. What's up? What's happening out there? I saw y'all been checking out my videos, and I appreciate that. And of course, USA. Now, I ask you to subscribe if you want to. Give any of my videos, this one or any of my playlists, a thumbs up. And you know I like your comments. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so this story time is called The Mechanics. Okay, The Mechanics. And if you're from another country or something and don't know what that means, that just means people who do car repair, work on your car. All right. Now, we call them mechanics in the U.S. All right. So I went the other day to get my car checked out because I had a light, going on. I want to see what it was all about. Now, I gotta put you, give you the background. I have a mechanic that I usually go to regularly, and he was on vacation. So I was like, I'll just take it somewhere else. So I found a place in Pittsburgh, and I was like, okay. I checked it out. It had like 4.5 stars. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and it's a Midas mufflers they did. Also, car repair. So I'm just like, okay, get all these good reviews. Why the heck not? They could check it out. If they can, I'll have them fix it. Call it a day. You know how it rolls. So I knew it was something weird from the moment I drove up there. Quiet drive. I drove up there, parked my car, right? And, I parked it long ways because I had an appointment. And I didn't want to be late for the appointment. I was going to check in and then park it somewhere else. I get out of the car. I park my car. I get out of the car. This black guy, this mechanic, that looks like he was more bow-legged than I have ever seen anybody bow-legged in my life. All right. And it looks like to clean his teeth, he just on side of a tree and used the tree bark. Just a rough looking brother, right? So he greased me as soon as I get out of the car because I wanted to tell the manager I'm here for my appointment, and then I was gonna move my car, right? I get out, I close the door. As soon as I turn around, he greased me with, "What you doing?" Loud and rude, right? I can't even do it as ignorant and rude as he did it. "What you doing?" And I'm like, well, I'm here for an appointment. My name is Dalton. I'm here for an appointment to get my car checked. He goes, "Why are you parking right there?" It's like, well, I'm not making this up. I can't. I'm like, okay, well, I have to park so I could get out because I want to make sure the manager knows that I'm here, right? So he was like, well, where you parking? Somebody could come in there and maybe hit the front of your car. And I said, well, where do you all like? Where do you like us to park? Park in the back, or even in the back of the building. And he looks at me and goes, and he goes back fixing the car, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, I can't make this up. So I'm like, okay. So I go in car, I get my car, and I pull it. And oh, before I did that, I went and I asked him, I said, "Are you the manager?" He goes, "One of them." And he turned it back and started banging on the car. So I go inside, you know, where the air conditioning part is. And then this white guy, kind of looking like Slim Shady, you know what I'm saying? This white guy comes in there. And I said, "Are you the manager?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm the manager of the place." You know, and I knew he was a manager because he had no grease under his nails. Okay. And if you know anything about Midas, a lot of times they don't let the managers work on the cars because they don't want the managers to start their own business and pull some of the customers. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm Dalton. So I check in my appointment. He goes, "Okay, cool." And I was like, okay, I might have to get an Uber home if you have to, because he said, we way behind. Okay, we were like, he said, it's going to be 2 hours. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just get an Uber home, and then when it's ready, you can give me an assessment, then I'll come back up. So I moved my car where it's supposed to, give him the keys. And there's another brother in there, and he was more mild. He was just there to work. You know, he wasn't trying to give nobody no static or nothing. So I go to a Shop and Save. I walk over to the Shop and Save. I see it over there. I was like, okay, let me get a couple of things before I call the Uber. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that I can make for the night, you know, for my dinner. So I went on the Shop and Save, went to do a little shopping, got something for me, got something for my cat Caesar. And just as I'm getting ready to call the Uber, I get a call from them. And you got to remember now, they don't know I have a mechanic that told me everything about my car. Good, bad, ugly, everything, you know. How good my tires are, you know, my engine, transmission. And he's calling me. He goes, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that job for you because, you know, I think it's best you sell your car. I'm not lying. You know, and then he goes on to tell me this whole story about how he was putting $6,000 into his car, and he put this much into his car, and he just went on and got another one, you know, a newer car, just a nice newer car, and he thinks I should do the same. And it was really weird because when he's telling me all this, even when that guy approached me rudely, it was almost like I was watching a movie. Yes, I was there, I was responding to him, but I was like outside the bubble, looking at everything. And I could see, you know, I didn't really want to see, but I could see what was going on. Okay. So he's telling me, yeah, you should sell it. You should sell the car and get a different one. Yeah. And then, so I decided to test him. I said, okay, well, can you rotate the tires? Oh, I can't rotate your tires. Your tires are bald. Now, my mechanic already checked my tires, and I got this thick ass thread on my tires. Okay, he told me he's always responding talking about my tires when they're pretty good. And take this. for like 7 or 8 months, while I was on workman's comp, my car was down. It never moved. Okay, so the tires were never used. So, so he's, oh, yeah, oh, you got an oil leak, and my mechanic already checked out my engine transmission. Said it's great. Okay, and you gotta understand, it's a Hyundai. This is a Hyundai too. So but he was like, oh, you got it. And then I hear him on the phone. He yells out to the other, the manager yells out. He goes, "Can we rotate the tires?" And the same asshole, excuse my language, that confronted me when I parked my car, he goes, "Oh no, his tires are bald, man. Oh, his tires are bald. They're ready to go." So he repeats, "Oh, no way, man. You need to sell this thing. All your tires are bald. You got it ready to go." That's when I was like, okay, I walked over from that shop across the street, from that Shop and Save, and I got and I talked to him face to face, and he was repeating everything that black guy said. And he was like giving me this whole story, this whole big old story about how he had to put $6,000 in his car, and he had to put another dismount, and it's best for me just get another car, just get a new car. Yeah, because everybody can afford a new car in this economy. Oh yeah, and Lord knows the gas is only $2 a gallon, right? Excuse my sarcasm. So, and it was really weird, because it was like there was this bubble, all this stuff was going on, all this form of, and yeah, I was talking and I was in it, but I was on the outside looking in, and I could see the energy that they were throwing, and it was just negative, the whole thing, and just lying. I mean, because they don't know anything about me. They don't know my history. They don't know I have a regular mechanic that always checks out. They don't know any of that, and they're just spilling out this bull crap. Bald tires, just spilling it out. And I'm just like, all I could do is, I sit there and I smiled. I didn't lose my cool or nothing. I'm just, because I'm really kind of freaked out at the fact that it was like I'm behind this bubble. I'm outside this bubble, but I'm seeing this interaction, I'm seeing what's going on, and really seeing kind of like their energy they're throwing. It was really strange. So I was more shocked at that fact, that I really couldn't get angry, because I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? This is weird. But I kept my cool, and I'm just saying, I'm agreeing with him. Okay, I should get another car. And just listening to all this other crap that he's telling me. Well, my mechanic already checked out. Okay, I knew he was wrong. So then I stopped it, and I got, because I went and stopped that day, and I got my oil changed. And when I got my oil changed, I asked this young lady that was up there, because she knew what she was talking about. I could see she knew what she was talking about. She was honest, and and she was cool. She was, she was gay. She was, hardcore dyke, but I don't have no problem. I could care less. But she was cool, and I knew she knew her shit. That's why I asked. I was mainly communicating with her. And I told her what that guy said, and she goes, "Ain't no oil leak in your car." she says, anyway, most oil leaks can be fixed. It's just, just like, that's not even. And she says, I looked at it, checked it out, there's no oil leak. She goes, matter of fact, we would tell you if there's an oil leak. You know, that's part of. She said she was telling me that's part of like a 18-point check they do. You know, when you get your oil changed. And I knew he was lying. You know, that's why I was like. And they all, except for that one guy, that one mechanic who was just there to work, minding his own business. The white gentleman, they look like Shims, you know, it looked like, you know what I said earlier. And then that ghetto fabulous black guy that looked like he eats bark or cleans his teeth with bark and have rodent about 15,000 horses and his leg. I mean, I'm talking about this bow-legged, talking crap and bow-legged. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Anyway, I want to tell y'all about that, and that only happened a couple of days ago. All right, and I'm just like, okay, always nice visiting someplace and someplace new. Thank you, Midas. Y'all do have the Midas touch, that's for sure. Not this is a good touch, it's a Midas touch. Anyway, I'll wrap to y'all later. I wanted to tell y'all about that. Peace.